Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I am Nick of Time 37, and the final stand maps for Battlefield 4 are back in the community test environment. The alpha version of these maps were tested a few months ago on CTE, but now the beta version has made its way back. Now, I didn't get a chance to try out the alpha version of these maps, but I just recently downloaded CTE, so now I can try the beta version. So this video will contain my impressions of the Final Stand expansion thus far. So there are 4 new maps to choose from. These are Operation Whiteout, Giants of Karelia, Operation Hammerhead, and Hangar 21. Operation Whiteout is set in an Arctic environment complete with glaciers and a snowstorm that rolls by in the middle of the match. This map also serves as the testing ground for hover tanks as seen in Battlefield 2142. Now, I haven't had much of a chance to get familiar with the hover tanks, but I can say that if you are familiar with the way normal tanks control, you are going to be in for a surprise. The hover tanks don't have tracks, but instead float above the surface as you would expect a hover tank to do. This allows you to easily turn on a dime. However, I found turning in hover tanks to be a little bit slippery. It's really easy to miss your target when you're turning, so you might have to rely on strafing in order to hit your target. You can also run over enemy players when strafing, and it's good to keep that in mind when someone tries to sneak up on you with C4. So overall, I found the hover tanks fun to drive around in, but not all too effective when dealing with enemy targets. Then again, I haven't really spent a lot of time on the hover tanks, so it might be an unknown superpower on the battlefield. Moving on to other maps, we have Giants of Karelia. This map contains a factory for building the walker mechs as also seen in Battlefield 2142. Now unfortunately, we can't actually get into the walker mechs, so I guess we'll just have to wait for Battlefield 2143. Now as for the map itself, I found it to be a little bit too wide open for its own good. If you don't have a transport vehicle to get you from point to point, you're probably not going to have a lot of fun on this map. For the next map, we have Operation Hammerhead, and this is looking to be one of my favorite maps for Final Stand. It's snowy like all the Final Stand maps, it has the hover tanks from Operation Whiteout, and there's a submarine base in the middle for good infantry action. As for the snowmobiles themselves, they control similarly to the dirt bikes back in Battlefield 3 Endgame. They're fast, they can turn on a dime, and they can jump off ramps. What's not to love? For the last map of Final Stand, we have Hangar 21. It's the only legitimate night map in Battlefield 4. It has an aircraft hangar on one side of the map, and there are rocket pods that you can get in and shoot yourself across the map. Of the 4 Final Stand maps, I think this is the one that best facilitates infantry gameplay. There's still plenty of fun to be had with air and ground vehicles, but the engagement distance of this map is much closer than the other 3 maps. This and Operation Hammerhead are my 2 favorite maps for this expansion. Now as for the weapons I ended up using in Final Stand, I found a surprising amount of use out of the suppressor. It can keep you off the minimap when you shoot, and that can be good if you're just learning the map, or if you want to stay hidden when there's not much cover. I also found use in long-range weapons like the CZ-805. Weapons like these are great for controlling recoil and maintaining accuracy at range. So overall, Final Stand is looking to be one of the best expansions for Battlefield 4 yet. If you have Premium on PC, I highly recommend downloading CTE so you can try out the new maps. Final Stand will be available up until Sunday, but there's a chance that it could be extended for Monday and Tuesday. Still no word on when Final Stand will actually be released, but I would expect it to be sometime in late November. So what do you think about Final Stand? Let me know in the comments below, but with all that said, I'm Nick of Time 37, thank you for watching, and take care.